Hey, hey, Bailey, ooh, I wanna know if you be my girl. Hey, hey, Bailey, ooh, I wanna know if you be my girl. Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Days and welcome to this week's Raw review. A Raw that came from Glasgow, Scotland. And first of all, you got to say, what a great crowd. I really enjoyed that Bailey segment. I thought they owned it, and I thought they made it better. I watch Raw because you never know what's going to happen. You don't know who's going to make an appearance. Is there going to be a legend that pops up? Is there going to be a swerve or a surprise? And this week what we got was the crowd owning a segment. Bailey couldn't finish her promo. Charlotte was getting very frustrated. Nia Jax was looking like she was getting a bit fed up with it as well. But I liked it. Deal with it. It's that's what Raw's about. And I know there's a lot of people out there that will disagree and say that the crowd shouldn't be allowed to do that. There was a lot of people critical of the London takeover NXT show because the crowd literally were chanting from start to finish, and some people find that distracting, but I think it's absolutely fine. I think that WWE have been putting on live shows, television shows for a long time, and this is nothing new. We've just got more of that kind of football, soccer chant culture. So when we go to these kind of events, it's not unusual for us to, do that over here. Hence why whenever there's a London Raw or a Glasgow Raw, that's why you see this kind of chanting. But I personally feel it adds to it. I loved that segment for that reason. I've got a shout out first of all, Salam Kashuna, is it? Hope I haven't got that wrong. Thanks for the support, bud, and thank you to all of you guys. Interestingly, it was this time last year that Seth got injured. It was on this tour. So Seth obviously picked up his injury against Kane and then had to relinquish the WWE title. That led to a tournament for the title, which culminated at Survivor Series, in which Roman Reigns was crowned the champion. I just thought it was really interesting that it had been 12 months already since that had happened. So, as we said, great crowd anyway for this week's Raw. An enjoyable start. I enjoyed all the 5 guys coming out that are going to make up the men's Survivor Series team. You had Jericho and Owens, who apparently are co-Universal Champions according to Y2J. They also pointed out Braun against Bray will happen at Survivor Series, which I don't know why it hadn't clicked with me, but I think that's a fascinating kind of matchup, see what happens there. Braun very much just on his own now, and that was kind of, told all throughout this week's episode with a few backstage bits. He just doesn't care. He just wants to beat people up, which fine. Noam Dar gets his Raw debut. Obviously, Scotland's Noam Dar got a great reaction from the crowd. First match was okay. It was a cruiserweight match, tag match. But I just don't understand why Noam Dar was on the losing team. Steph inviting Foley and Bryan to Raw next week and makes a match, Sami against Rusev, for later in this show. Winner will face Dolph Ziggler for the Intercontinental belt. What have they got planned for The Miz? That's my question, because he's not on the SmackDown men's team. He's obviously not going to be competing for the Intercontinental Championship. Well, I don't know what they've got planned for him. New Day doing the Braveheart thing, I thought was excellent. Big pop for Francesca 2's Scottish bagpipe cousin, Agnes, which I dare say we'll see a Mattel figure of them in their Scottish attire at some point, because it was quite a striking image of them in kilts. one which I don't think I'll forget any time soon, sadly. Gallows and Anderson against New Day was the match that was made out of this segment. I must say, first of all, this tag team segment I thought was very good, very, very funny. Sheamus and Cesaro in particular, their interactions I thought were very good. Golden Truth didn't really feature that much. Enzo was okay this week. The club, yeah, the club are just the club, aren't they? I mean, they don't really fit into these kind of segments. But still, the whole thing was pretty entertaining. But yeah, we had Gallows and Anderson against the New Day. Gallows and Anderson win with the Magic Killer, but the match was flat. I'm sorry. Lesnar next saying that he didn't care about WrestleMania 20, which is why he ended up losing. I thought was interesting and true. So we're obviously building towards Goldberg against Brock Lesnar. It's going to be really interesting next week because they come face to face. Lesnar, Goldberg, face to face, and we'll see what goes down there. You know that's going to come to blows. We saw Goldberg training as well, and yeah, I'm looking forward to this match. I hope it doesn't go too long. I'm not after some kind of epic war. I just think that it needs to be good pace, pretty short, full of all the spots that we want to see, and surely Lesnar wins. This is Goldberg's last match, and I just don't see any need for him to pick up a victory here. But I suppose that's the downside to the match, is that if Goldberg wins, then hasn't really achieved anything, has it? You know, Lesnar's been unstoppable for years, and then Goldberg comes along and beats him in his last match. That won't happen. So it just makes it a bit predictable. Anyway, next we get the Shining Stars against Golden Truth. Wow, the crowd didn't like this. Big, boring chants, to the point where I think it was Epico actually turned around to the crowd and told them that they were boring. Shining Stars win, and now they've taken Golden Truth's spot in the Survivor Series team. Quite literally, no one cares. No one cares. The women were out next, and obviously that segment, which was hijacked by the crowd. So it is Sasha that's on the team. It's Sasha, Charlotte, Alicia Fox. You know, Alicia Fox is all right, but I would have expected at least one surprise here. You know, the tag teams, there's no surprises. I mean, we get the Shining Stars. And then with the women, there's no surprises. We've, you know, the two missing people were Sasha and Alicia Fox. So it's Nia, Charlotte, Sasha, Bayley, and Alicia Fox. And then that set up a match. We had a tag match with those five and Dana Brooke, and it was actually all right. You know, it was the right call for Bayley to get the win. Bayley to belly. She picks up the victory, or helps her team pick up the victory. And yeah, the match was pretty good. The segment, as I said, was fun. I enjoyed that segment beforehand because of the crowd. I think if the crowd hadn't have got involved, I didn't care about the story. I don't care about Dana being on the team or Sasha being on the team. So next we get Sami against Ruru. And the winner faces Dolph at Survivor Series for the Intercontinental title. Sami picking up the victory in what was not a flat match, but I don't know, it just happened, wasn't it? There's not really much else to say. There wasn't really anything special in there, and yeah, Sami picked up a victory which he got pretty easy. You know, you're talking about Rusev. This should have been a war. This should have been a main event, really, and it wasn't. And Sami Zayn wins, and now, though, he goes on to face Dolph Ziggler in what should be a fantastic Survivor Series match. Those two, I think, will put on a classic. So I'm really looking forward to Dolph Ziggler against Sami Zayn. So yeah, that'll be cool. And then the main event, I think, was the best segment of the night, and that was the men's Survivor Series team all going against each other, and everyone got their kind of moments. The action was fast paced, and it finishes with Owens falling onto Jericho and getting the 3 count. So obviously just teasing a little bit more kind of division between those two. I think frustratingly the match didn't serve any purpose. The show didn't serve any purpose. I think it was fine. It was okay. I think if you were there, you probably had a really good time. That kind of came across on TV, as we've said. But this Raw, just nothing happened. It was just an entertaining show, kind of. There was even some segments that were really poor. Like a lot of the matches, just not that great. But it is what it is. It is what it is. It was fun to see it from Glasgow in Scotland, and I thought the crowd were ace. And we move forward. I think is next week the go home. Next week might even be the go home for Survivor Series. So I have to see, what they've got in store for that. But we know all the teams. We're obviously getting Lesnar and Goldberg next week, which will be really interesting. Shane and Bryan will be on the show as well. So we'll have to see. There might be some kind of invasion with some like SmackDown stars kind of invading Raw. That would be awesome. And then maybe the Raw stars invade SmackDown. That'd be a great way to build Survivor Series. So I'm looking forward to next week. And obviously we've got SmackDown tonight as well. I'm really looking forward to that. I think, is that from Glasgow also? I think it is. Awesome. Right. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this week's show. If you like this video, please give it a like. If you haven't subscribed, I really would appreciate it if you could. And hopefully you'll join me for the SmackDown live review soon. Bye, guys.